What's up everyone, I'm Skratch, welcome to the channel. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Super hot here in the UK guys, I feel like I'm literally melting next to my PC, the lights and everything else, generating so much heat. I'm literally like an ice cream in the sun. Now, the summer finally came to the UK. A bit late though, a bit late. How is the weather where you guys live? Let me know in the comments down below. We are currently on the test server. We're gonna have a look at one of the very first mythical champions. We're gonna start with the Orc champion, the one that I actually received on my card, because why not? It's definitely one of my most favorite ones. Now I'm gonna showcase each one of these new mythical champions on the channel, guys, so definitely stay tuned for it. I'm gonna start with this one because he is one of my most favorite ones. I'm in between this one and the Skinwalker. I can't decide which one is the one that I want the most. But Gharol and not Carol, and this champion, man, it has a very powerful kit. Attacks all enemies. Damage of this skill increases by 10% for each buff on this champion. Will ignore 30% of the target's defense on a 3-turn cooldown. Of course, you have the Metamorph. The passive, whenever an ally attacks, this champion has a 25% chance to team up with them and join their attack. Lots of fun, you're gonna love it. Then the rest of the passive, damage increases as the champion's HP decreases by 1% for every 1% of HP lost. The more HP you lose, similar with Leorius, the more damage he's going to do. Nasty, nasty. Then the A1 attacks all enemies, has a 20% chance of repeating the attack. Could you imagine ally attacking randomly and just AoE attack, AoE attack, AoE attack, just smacking the enemies to bits? And you have an HP aura. Now, unlike the other champions, this one is an attack and HP based champion. So this alternate form is the attack based. Moving over to the regular form is an HP based, and this is more of a supportive form. The A1 has a chance to increase the cooldown of a random skill, removes any shield buffs. The A2 places a provoke debuff, also places an unkillable buff on this champion for 3 turns, which will allow you to kind of like rotate to the other skill, but it will be a bit harder to open with this skill and then move to the other one. She still needs to drop the HP in order for the damage to increase. You could try to do this, and with the ally protection from here, she's gonna be losing a lot of HP. The problem is, by the time you're gonna move to the other form, you're gonna lose the unkillable buff, but you're gonna get a lot of damage when you're gonna nuke, you know? So we're gonna try it in both ways. So, removes block buffs, debuffs from all allies, then places an ally protection buff on all allies except this champion for 2 turns. Also places a shield buff on all allies equal to 30% of this champion's max HP. And now I mentioned an HP aura, the passive, when attacked, decreases the duration of all buffs on the attacker by 1 turn, occurs once per hit, not per skill. Also heals all allies except this champion by 50% of the damage taken whenever this champion is hit, occurs once per hit. Imagine a Georgid with A1, increase attack for 2 turns, he's gonna hit this champion, he's gonna lose all the buffs, he's gonna generate a lot of healing too. That being said, let me just quickly show you the build, the masteries, and then we're gonna take the champion in for a spin. So Gharol, aka Carol, here we go. Savage and crit damage set. I actually removed the gear from my Rotos and gave it to this champion. Now, it's not necessarily gonna be as beneficial as on my Rotos, because you know what? Even though this champion deals damage based on HP with this skill, don't expect to see like insane numbers. I haven't went with high accuracy on the champion because I really don't want to get her polymorphed, you know? I want her to stay up and running to deal a lot of damage. Total stats in this initial form, we have 63k HP, 4.7k attack, 2.8k defense, 230 speed, 260 crit damage. Now when we put the ally protection on, basically she's gonna get obliterated, right? Because of the way ally protection works in the game. When we are swapping to the next form, of course you are keeping the same gear. But right now, we're kind of like on the steroids form, and we are an attack based. So our stats right now are the following. 45k HP, 7.1k attack, 2.6k defense, 230 speed, full crit rate, 274 crit damage. Now, I'll be honest, if I would get this champion on my initial account, most probably I wouldn't try to take a lot of HP on her. I would just go in for damage. So I would probably try to get as much attack as possible, more crit damage. Because you know what? When we are on this form, the HP doesn't really benefit her. And even on the first form, because you are putting unkillable on the champion, I don't think it's necessarily very important to have very high stats, because you are losing on the main thing that this champion does better than most of them out there. And that is damage. So these are the stats and masteries. Of course, we have offense and defense 3, Helm Smasher as tier 6, ignore more defense, counter attack on the defense 3. That's gonna be pretty beneficial too. But that's the champion, that's the build. Let's take her in for a spin. So we're gonna go on stage 23. That's where we're normally testing most of the champions. I do need to have an increased attack for this champion, guys, because that's the way it is. And I do need to bring in more buffs. So I wanna have as many buffs as possible. And we're gonna play it out like this. So we're gonna bring in buffs, increase attack, everything else that we need. And then we're gonna see what we can actually do with the champion. Are we gonna smack pretty hard in here? Stage 23 and 10% for each buff on this champion. Unlike Seer or Taras, who counts the buffs from each one of the teammate, this champion only counts the buffs from himself, okay? Or herself, my bad. But that being said, we could do this, wait another turn, and get damaged a bit, but initially we're gonna test something else, then we're gonna come back to play around a bit more. So check this out. Look at that. Looks sick, and just the champion looking a bit bigger. And now we have 6 buffs, defense down and weaken. Let's check the animation and the damage. Look at that. 360k, 350k. Put them all to sleep, man. No chance of survival. They're literally not gonna be able to do nothing against Gharol. And look at that, joining the attack with the passive. Pretty damn nuts. Pretty damn nuts. It's actually a lot of fun. In arena, it can definitely be pretty nice. Look at that, again. Joining in, and now again. And it has a chance to basically repeat the attack. Look at that. She just repeated the attack by joining the ally attack. So that's so damn crazy. Such a good champion. I do think this might be my favorite out of all of them. We're currently in Classic Arena, Platinum tier, and we're gonna take in the champion for a spin. See what we can do with him. I would expect him to do in some serious work all around. So we have chosen right here Marichka, Duchess, we have a Tormin, we have a Krisk. Let's see how well we're going to perform against him. Now, I want my champion to have a lot of buffs, right? So let's see if we're gonna smack some serious damage. There we go. You need increased attack for this champion, right? Because the A2 is based on attack. So right now I'm gonna swap Metamorph, right? Keep all the buffs. And by the looks of it, I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 buffs. Let's see what sort of damage we're gonna deal with this skill. Now, I don't think Duchess and Marichka took a turn yet. Okay, we killed Krisk. The rest actually had quite a bit of damage reduction. Let's go for the Marichka. I like the A1 and the passive constantly ally attacking. I mean, 25% chance. It's not constantly, but when it happens, it's fun, basically, you know? And then, on top of it, you have the chance to gain an extra hit, basically, which is very nice, too. Let's see. Let's put back the speed up to 2x. There we go. The passive, joining the attack, gaining an extra hit. I've seen so far up to 3 hits. Again, the passive. Bang, look at that. It's just hammering the team. So much fun, man. So much fun to use this champion like that. Let's put it on auto and let it go. Counter attack. Bang, Tormin, you go down. Okay. Look at that. Getting destroyed. That's what you need. Beautiful. Now, of course, we can play this champion in a different way. Now, this right here is actually not a bad example of what we want to see. I'm gonna take him out, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put champion that will give me a lockout. I need a lockout. If no, they might go crazy and kill my supporters. What I want to try is something a bit different. It's much harder to achieve, I would say, on arena. I'm not gonna use the A2 just yet. What I want to do is this. put a provoke, and unkillable. I might not provoke most of them because I don't have accuracy, so I haven't provoked nobody. That's fine. They're still gonna target her because she is the lowest HP in the team, if I'm not mistaken. Let's try to put a sleep on somebody that we cannot. The more HP we lose, the more damage we're going to deal after, guys. So actually, right now, I'm pretty happy with what I have here. I'm pretty happy with the HP that we lost. I feel like if I'm gonna keep it more, what's gonna happen? I'm not gonna be able to put all the buffs on, you know. And now I can go in the Metamorph. And this passive here, you see? Damage increases as the champion's HP decreases. We have only 4 buffs, but let's see if we're using this skill. Bang! Go down everybody. And I still have the unkillable. And now we can just deal with Leorius. That was actually pretty nice. I do think it's harder to kind of like make all these swaps in and out. I don't think it's as easy as we thought it will be. And I don't think the impact of them having the Metamorph is as insane. It's very, very strong, but it's not like at the level where it's breaking the game and all the other champions are useless. Let me just put it like that, you know? It's definitely a very, very nice touch on the champion. So let's try to find one more team, guys, and see some better damage. Look, this is a tanky team right here. Farm stuff, +4 Duchess, +3 Ursaga. And I will have to maybe play it in a different way. I want to have as many buffs as possible. I do want to have increased attack at the same time. So what should we do? I think we're not going to use a lockout. We're not going to use a lockout. We're going to bring Necrit back in to give me all the buffs and see how well we're dealing with this team. I feel like that's a good way. Buff. I am expecting to encounter some sort of reaction or anything like that. Let's do an ally attack. You see, this is a single hit skill rather than AoE. Let's buff that Duchess. So now I can put ally protection. Let's do that. And then we're gonna swap to the next Metamorph. The problem is we're losing buffs like increased attack, so I didn't thought about it that much. Okay. Maybe we're gonna keep it in this form a bit longer just to drop some HP somehow. It's gonna be pretty hard though, pretty hard, because that Candrophone is gonna do no damage whatsoever. Okay, let's see. Okay, I want to buff the increased attack afterwards again, you know, and it's gonna be perfect for the next round. Then we're gonna change it to the other Metamorph. We need that. We need him to attack her, but he's not doing it. Okay, so let's just buff again and just go in for the Metamorph. I feel like maybe in live arena will be a bit better to do it, and I feel like these champions will fit very well in live arena, where you are able to play it differently. You need to take different decisions, etc., etc. So I feel like the Metamorph is going to be very, very powerful for live arena. Check this out. Let's see the damage. Oof. Go down, baby. Go down. That Duchess survived, but I feel like it was all the damage mitigation from Ursaga and the rest. But that was actually pretty damn good. So if the passive will proc before the Duchess revive, we have a chance to basically win the fight and kill her just with a passive proc, but it didn't proc here. Still, pretty damn good, man. Decent damage. I don't think the damage is completely broken, in my opinion. I don't think it's at a level where that's it. The best nukers in the game, the rest just don't matter whatsoever, you know? But I think they're at a very, very good spot. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. What do you think of this champion? Definitely one of my most wanted. Keep an eye for the next video because we are testing the Skinwalker. That was all for this video. Much love. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Peace.